This is your host, GBEAST of a Lesson In Headbanging Podcast, where we talk about all things hard rock, classic rock, and heavy metal. And of course, on this episode, we're going to talk about the life and legacy of David Johansen, who passed away back on February 28th of 2025. Iconic. A legend, at least in my mind, a legend. The New York Dolls. Come on, man. These guys were a big influence to a lot of bands, including to my personal favorite band of all time. If you know about it or not, Kiss, right? New York Dolls, they were heavy on makeup. You had Alice Cooper, has similar, black style eyeliner, what we know today. And obviously, Kiss took the idea from the New York Dolls and Alice Cooper, and they took it to the whole new level. Now, if it wasn't for the New York Dolls and possibly, for look wise, right? The look wise, they saw them in New York. Obviously, Kiss, they can say that Led Zeppelin was their big influence, right? But the look, the makeup, the New York Dolls, and David Johansen, he led them. He was the front man, the New York Dolls. Now, I have a bunch of CDs here in my hand. New York Dolls right here, baby. And I was grateful enough to see them live. I believe back in 2011, 2012, somewhere right around there. I believe they opened for Motley. I could be wrong. But I was grateful enough to see them live. And man, they were fantastic, kick-ass live rock and roll. And David Johansen, he sounded spectacular live on stage. And Buster Poindexter, come on. He's just incredible, man. Incredible. Began his career in the late 1960s as the lead singer of the Vagabond Missionaries, a local Staten Island band. Later in the early 1970s, as a singer and songwriter in the proto-punk band, as I mentioned, the New York Dolls, and went on to create some classic rock and roll albums like New York Dolls, the self-titled album in 73, Too Much Too Soon, 1974, and it just became history from there, man. And eventually, let's see, Buster Poindexter in the late 1980s, where he became more of a commercial success. Eventually, I didn't realize, I guess he appeared part of the house band of the Saturday Night Live back in the 80s. Eventually, he went through acting. I kind of knew a little bit about it, but I guess he became an actor in the 1980s. 1990s and 2000s, had a brief role in HBO drama, the series Oz. Appeared in the adventure of Pete and Pete. Of course, he appeared in the Muppet television segment on the episode of the Jim Henson Hour. I'm learning this stuff as well about it's just crazy about Johansen. I'm just kind of going through the list of what he did film wise because I'm not aware of it. A Very Merry Christmas, a Netflix Bill Murray special. And yeah, of course, he had his own solo band as well, the David Johansen Band, which became more like a blues rock, I guess, of sorts. And yeah, man, he's just an incredible career. He has touched. He lived everything. He has lived everything. And okay, so I haven't read too much details about his, him. I guess from what I'm reading, I guess he had cancer. I'm not sure what's the story behind it. I don't want to, put that out there, but I guess he had some health issues. He passed away at his home in Staten Island, as I mentioned, at age 75, February 28th, 2025. And just incredible, just studio albums, right? You got the David Johansen solo band, came out in 78. In Style in 79. Here Comes the Night in 81. Sweet Revenge in 1984. He also did a live album with the David Johansen Group live in 1978. 1982, Live It Up. And some of the discography for the New York Dolls as well. Trying to pull it up here really quick here. New York Dolls self-titled album in 73. Too Much Too Soon, 74. One Day It Will Please Us to Remember Even This, 06. Cause I Said So in 2009. 2011, Dancing Backwards in High Heels. And that being said, I do have the records. I gotta say, all those records I talked about, I got them right here. One Day Will Please Us to Remember This. There it is right there. You can see with the glare on it. Just a classic kick-ass running around, just a classic dancing like a monkey. That's just another classic song off this record. Good stuff in the New York Dolls. As I talk about the very first one, I talk about the influence like Kiss does. Look at the photo here. You can't tell me that Kiss didn't, see this. The makeup, the high heels. I mean, just classic. I mean, personality crisis, looking for a kiss. Vietnam Baby, some just trash. Jet Boy. There's some classic stuff on this record from 1973. Got on CD here. New York Dolls, the very first album, David Johansen. Something a little bit more modern. 2011, Dancing in Backwards in High Heels. Right here. Got it right here. Fooling for Your Baby, Street Cake. I mean, just some classic songs. And last but not least, Cause I Said So. You see David Johansen right there on the front cover. Back in 2009. Because of the song, Cause I Said So was the first one. Great song. My World, This Is Ridiculous. Just incredible. And David Johansen, we will love you. We will always, again, of course, we're going to miss you, right? But we're going to still crank on New York Dolls. Of course, I am CD style, of course, streaming style. However you want to listen to the New York Dolls by vinyl or any of David Johansen's solo albums as well. And man, it stinks. It stinks. But a lot of these legendary rockers are slowly falling off the edge of the earth. I can't say that edge of the earth. They're slowly falling off of the planet Earth, and they're just no longer around with us. So, and I keep pressing about it all the time. I don't care how you sit there wash up. I don't care how many retirement tours. I mean, they're still around. They're still breathing. They're still taking their time to go on stage to perform our happy asses. Go out and see these bands. They're not going to be around right? They're not going to be around for so much long. That's why I'm going to see AC/DC in May of 2025. I am stoked. See these guys while they're out there still doing it. Because one day these guys will not be here. And I was grateful to see the New York Dolls with David Johansen fronting the band, of course. Well, probably their final tour ever. And I was grateful enough to see them. They were fantastic and something I can keep in my mind forever. So, if you have any New York Dolls or David Johansen's memories, drop it on the comment section, man. Your thoughts. And again, we will love you. We'll miss you forever. David Johansen.